The Gamechanger plasma pedal is a one-of-a-kind distortion unit that literally creates plasma by converting your guitar signal into voltage and then using that to ionize a glass tube of xenon gas. And the electrical discharge produced by that is then transduced back into audio. But at this point, the audio has picked up all kinds of extra frequency content, which is how this pedal produces distortion. So in addition to being extremely hardcore, that means that the distortion you get here will have very much its own character. But in this video, I'm going to show you 5 pro tips for taking advantage of how unusual the plasma is. Some of these sounds are going to be unrecognizable as coming from a distortion pedal. For the first pro tip, you can use the plasma as an updated version of some very early classic fuzz sounds and slashed speaker cone sounds. Except in this case, they'll be less finicky and you'll have modern tweakability. Pro tip number 2 is a big one for me. You can use the plasma to turn your guitar into a video game instrument. What's going to sound better than that? Nothing. I was working on a record once where the producer wanted me to double track my guitar solo with one take using normal guitar sound, like a Marshall amp and stuff, and the other take would be using this random headphone amplifier he had from when he was a kid. And layered together, those two tones sounded incredible, but here's the thing. I've never been able to track down another copy of this guy's weird random headphone amp. My memory is that it was called the Snarling Dogs headphone amplifier, but I don't even think that's right because when I Google it, I get nothing. But anyway, I'm pleased to tell you that the plasma can reproduce that sound. Here it is, unmistakable. Now by itself, that sounds kind of fucked up, but the point is that if you double track with that against a much more conventional guitar sound, it sounds amazing. The EQ controls on the plasma are uniquely powerful, and it gives you the option of applying them to your clean signal if you want. And since it also has a blend control, you can leave out the distortion entirely and only use the plasma as like a secret weapon tonal enhancer on your clean sound. And not only that, there's also a volume boost with it. So you can really use the plasma as like a life-saving preamp if you need to. For this next example, I've dialed in a sound on my amp where I'm trying to reproduce a very common bad sound. This is going to be like the sound of the bad amp at the shared rehearsal space or the bad amp in the club's back line. You're going to hear me play with that sound, and then I'm going to turn on the plasma, only using it for its EQ section and volume, and transform that sound into something very usable and good. Pro tip number 5, I've adjusted the voltage control so that my guitar tone has almost no sustain. Now, obviously, having a lot of sustain is something guitar players have cared about for decades. So, therefore, the advanced move is to give yourself no sustain on purpose. And then you can add sustain back fakely with a delay pedal. If you do that using the plasma, it sounds really unusual and extremely cool.